Let's talk about three top mistakes that people make when buying a house and how to avoid them. Have you ever met someone who bought their dream home only to regret it maybe a year later? Maybe you've heard people say things like, I wish someone had told me that before I bought, or if I could do it all over again, I would do things differently. The truth is that most people don't lose money or struggle with home ownership because they are unintelligent. They struggle because nobody taught them what to watch out for before signing the dotted line. Buying a house is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. For most families, it's actually the largest purchase they will make in their entire lifetime. And yet, many buyers make the same three mistakes over and over again. Today, I'm going to share the top three mistakes that people usually make when buying a house, along with some real life examples. That way, I can help you avoid turning your dream home into a financial headache. So let's get into it. Let's talk about mistake number one. And this is buying based on the payment instead of the total cost. This is one of the most common mistakes buyers make because they focus only on the monthly payment. They ask, can I afford $2,000 a month? But that is the wrong question. The better question is, can I afford everything that comes with owning this house? And let me explain. Imagine two families buying the identical homes. Both families have a mortgage payment of $2,000 per month. At first glance, everything looks great. But 6 months later, family number one gets hit with reality. Property taxes increase. Their insurance premium is going to go up. Then in the middle of Texas summer, the AC decides it's done working. And a few weeks later, they receive a repair estimate for several $1,000s. Now they are distressed, not because they couldn't afford the mortgage payment, but because they only planned for the mortgage payment. Meanwhile, family number two experiences the exact same issue. The difference is, though, they expected them. They understood that home ownership includes maintenance, includes repairs, taxes, insurance, and last but not least, the unexpected expenses. So when things happen, they are inconvenienced, but not financially devastated. Here's something I tell buyers all the time. Rent is the maximum you'll pay each month. A mortgage is the minimum you'll pay each month. Because when you own a home, you're responsible for every single thing. The water heater, the plumbing, the roof, the appliances, the landscaping. I don't know about you guys, but I hate cutting the grass. That's why I don't put any in my house. I hate it. I hate all of that. But anyways, before you buy a house, make sure you are looking at the full cost of ownership, not just the payment, because a house should provide stability and not constant financial stress. Let's move to mistake number two. Falling in love with a house before getting pre-approved. The second mistake is one that causes a lot of heartbreak. Shopping for houses before getting pre-approved. I know why people do it. It's exciting. You open Zillow. You start scrolling, especially at night. You see beautiful kitchens. You see amazing backyards, huge walk-in closets. And before you know it, you've mentally moved into the house you don't even own. But here's the problem. Imagine walking into a grocery store without knowing how much money you have in your bank account. You grab your steaks, you grab the seafood, you grab the desserts, your favorite snacks, your hot Cheetos, you fill the cart with everything you want. Then you get to the checkout and suddenly you realize you can only afford half of it. Not even the hot Cheetos. That sounds ridiculous, right? Yet, that's exactly what many buyers do when shopping for homes. They spend weeks and weeks looking at houses. They tell their families, They send pictures to their friends. They start imagining where the furniture will go. They'll go into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, can you make me a picture of what I can put in this living room? And then they go and talk to the lender, and the lender says, based on your income, debt, and credit, this home is actually outside of your approved range. Now that they are going to be disappointed, not because they lost the house, but because they got emotionally attached before knowing their budget. A pre-approval solves this problem. It gives you clarity. You know your price range. You know your estimated payment. You know what the lender are willing to finance. And when the right house comes along, you're ready to make an offer immediately. In today's market, that's a huge advantage. The smartest buyers don't start with houses. They start with the financing because you know the numbers and everything actually becomes way easier. Not just for you, but also for your agent. So do that. Do them a favor. Now, let's talk about mistake number 3. Letting your emotions override logic. The third mistake is probably the most dangerous. Letting emotions make financial decisions. Buying a home is actually emotional. It's where you'll build all those memories, where you're going to raise a family, you're going to celebrate birthdays, host holidays, and of course, emotions are involved. But emotions become dangerous when they start making those decisions that logic should be making. Think about this. Imagine you walk into a car dealership. You came looking for a reliable vehicle, something practical, something that fits your budget, something that is going to get you from point A to point B. Then you see the luxury models sitting under the bright lights, the leather seats, the smell, the giant screen, the upgraded wheels. And then the salesperson walks over and says, it's only a little more per month. Now you're suddenly considering something you never planned to buy. The same thing happens in real estate all the time. A buyer starts looking at homes around $300,000. Then they see the dream home listed for $375,000. The kitchen is perfect. The backyard is incredible. The neighborhood is exactly what they've always wanted. Now they're trying to justify stretching their budget, and they're telling themselves, we'll figure it out. Or maybe it's only a little more. Or this one, hear me out, we deserve it. But here's the problem. The excitement of buying a house lasts a few weeks. The payment can last up to 30 years. The goal isn't to buy the most expensive house you can qualify for. The goal is actually to buy the house that would help you build a better life. A house should allow you to save money, to travel, to invest, to handle those emergencies, to enjoy your family, not to feel trapped every month because every dollar is going towards the mortgage. A beautiful house isn't beautiful if it's stealing your peace of mind. So let's recap. The first mistake is buying based on the payment instead of the total cost of ownership. The second mistake is shopping before getting pre-approved. And last but not least, the third one is letting your emotions override logic. If you can avoid these 3 mistakes, you'll put yourself ahead of most home buyers. And remember this, the best house isn't necessarily the biggest house. It isn't the most expensive house. It isn't the house that impresses everyone else. The best house is the one that fits your goals, it protects your finances, and allows you to build the life you want. Because at the end of the day, buying a home isn't about finding a place to live. It's about making a decision that your future self would thank you for. So if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's thinking about buying a home. It might save them for making a very expensive mistake. And I'll see you in the next video. Laters.